We all walk through life carrying burdens. These are not backpacks or boxes or physical weights, but these are invisible burdens, memories, expectations, feelings that we really can't quite put down. These burdens, over time, they shape how we stand, how we breathe, how we relate with others, our mental, our physical, our emotional well being. Some of these burdens come from what happened to us, others come from roles we play, and some comes from the stories that we keep repeating and telling ourselves. In order to lighten these burdens, we need to notice what we are carrying, and then we need to learn tactics for gently letting these burdens go. So, in my experience, there are five burdens that we carry: the burden of trauma, the burden of duty, the burden of empathy, the burden of grudges, and the burden of striving. Let's look at each of these. Trauma. Trauma are the echoes of what has hurt us, which is the first burden. Trauma stays much later or much longer than the actual event that caused it. It's not the event themselves, but what it did to us in terms of our sense of safety. It's the body remembers what the mind tries to forget. You find that you flinch, you tighten when you get triggered by something in the environment that reminds you of the past, long after the danger is gone. So, healing of trauma begins by reintroducing safety, letting the body know that it's safe, that the past is the past. It means grounding yourself in the present on solid ground, breathing slowly until the breath steadies the heart, or talking to someone who can hold your story without judgment. You don't have to erase or forget your pain. You just have to stop letting it define you. So, freedom doesn't come from forgetting, it comes from remembering but not reliving. The second burden is duty, the weight of obligations. Now, duty is a good thing. It makes us reliable, it makes us trustworthy, it makes us valued. But when duty becomes an endless list of obligations, it can feel like a weight, feel like a treadmill that doesn't have a pause button. Now, we carry aging parents, children, pets, expectations from partners, promises we make. And many a times we feel guilty for even needing rest or saying we're tired. But you have to understand that true responsibility doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means acting out of love but not fear. So pause before you say yes and ask yourself, is this truly my obligation? Is this truly mine to carry? And if so, can I do it with grace and not with resentment? Because duty done with presence becomes service, duty done with resentment becomes suffering. The third burden is the burden of empathy. Now, empathy is a gift, but it can become a trap. Sometimes we feel other people's emotions so deeply that their sorrow becomes ours, their depression becomes ours. We think we're helping them, but we're simply absorbing and hurting ourselves in the process. So, empathy is powerful, but you need boundaries to stay healthy. Without boundaries, you can get fatigued. You can get compassion fatigue, caring too much without replenishment. So, you should stay connected, be empathetic, but not be consumed by it. And then, after you hear and listen, release what you heard. Just like water goes off a duck's back, let it go. Release it. Don't carry it with you. The fourth burden is the burden of grudges. It's the weight of what we refuse to release. It's a quiet anger that lingers long after the event or the story is ended. Now, anger can be directed at someone else who hurt you, or it can actually be directed inward to something you did or did not do. It's like holding resentment. Now, holding resentment is like holding a fire, waiting for the other person to feel the heat, but you burn yourself in the process. So, forgiveness is not about forgetting, it's not about letting somebody off the hook, it's about freeing yourself. So, what you have to do is to start by naming what hurts, by acknowledging, you know what, that was unfair, that got deep. Then ask yourself, What do I have to do to stop rehearsing this, to stop reliving this? So forgiveness is not a grand act. It's just a quiet decision that I'm not going to reopen this wound. The fifth burden is the burden of striving. This is the restlessness of never enough. We live in an age where we're constantly striving. We work harder, run faster, we want to achieve more. And it's a noble impulse. Striving is a noble impulse. We obviously want to grow, we want to get promoted, we want to earn more money, but it becomes toxic when we define our worth in terms of our performance. So, what you have to do is to rest in what you've already accomplished. Notice what you've already done instead of what's left undone. Don't only look forward as the next hill to climb, but look behind and see how far you've come. So, how should we lighten these five burdens? Let me give you five simple, practical, but powerful practices. First is awareness. You cannot release what you haven't recognized. So, you have to become aware and notice when a thought or an obligation or an emotion feels heavy. Name it. Name it gently. Ah, pressure. Ah, fear. Ah, pain. Second, breath, stillness, and meditation. The breath is the body's reset button. Take a few slow, deep, conscious breaths to tell your nervous system you're safe. Do this before meetings, do this before you go to bed. Third, boundaries. Let go of what is not yours to carry. Conserve your energy and protect your energy. By the way, boundaries are not selfish, it's actually self preservation. Fourth, compassion with yourself. Speak to yourself with the same empathy and the same warmth that you offer to others. You don't need to justify or earn your rest or forgiveness. And fifth is rituals of letting go. At the end of each day, imagine that whatever felt heavy, you put into a river and watch it drift away, or you wrote it on a piece of paper and burnt it. So these small gestures are not going to erase the burdens, but they're going to reduce their dominance. You can carry these things, but don't let these things carry you. Because life will always involve love, responsibility, work, but you can learn to carry it with greater ease. So, lightness is not the absence of weight, it's the discovery of balance. It's remembering that you are not what you carry, but you are the one who decides what to carry next.